Hey everyone, it's Art and Ransk here with a Sit Down Sunday. A little late this time, sorry about that. So the topic for today is going to be about the longevity of doing YouTube or any sort of content creation sort of thing. When you start off doing YouTube or any sort of content creation, you're not signing yourself up for, like, maybe a couple weeks or a couple days of, making some videos and getting them really popular and then going out into the world and, sending them out and all of a sudden just having a smash hit and then just being an internet star. Unless the people have, like, viral videos, in which case they can go Anyway, you're not signing yourself up for a week of hard work. You're signing yourself up for a very, very long haul of working hard and trying to come up with unique ideas for as long as you can. Like, let's say you guys started a YouTube channel right now. The market is so oversaturated right now that if you tried to do Let's Plays, I would say a year to a year and a half, probably even more than that. Year and a half to 2 years. If you're not trying to do Let's Plays, you probably have a higher chance of doing well. There's a lot of things that you can do besides Let's Plays, but Let's Plays are really easy to get into. So, people like doing those because it's a wide open audience. A lot of people like to watch them. A lot of people like to make them. A lot of people. So after working hard for a year and a half to 2 years and coming up with content, and usually people come up with, a video every day or 2 videos. Sometimes they do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but either way, you're coming up with a lot of hard work every single week or every single day, and it gets really difficult to keep up with it. So as you're creating content, you have to realize that you are working almost just as hard as a TV series, like Game of Thrones or something like that. That's a really popular TV series, but guess what? They only come out with 10 episodes every year. They don't come out with, 365 episodes, 1 episode every single day. Now, granted, they have, way more of a budget, and they're also working with 1 million people, and it's a lot more high tech. But the material and the source content that they're working with is what's going to make them, really popular. It's a really good story. So what you have to create in your own content is you don't have to create a story, obviously, but you have to create something that is going to keep people interested for a very long time. We're talking, years. Years and years. And this is where the idea of longevity in YouTube becomes a concern. Because if you are starting to create content for years, we're talking, you want to actually sit down at YouTube and after you get, pretty popular and you can make a living off of it, well, now you have to think of, how am I going to keep everyone's interest for however long I want to keep this a career? The way I look at it is YouTube is just kind of a short-term thing. People don't really want to look at it that way. People probably want to do, they want to have YouTube as a thing that they can rely on for life. But honestly, all the YouTubers that I can think of right now, like Markiplier, PewDiePie, Kripparrian, they're all relatively young, right? I mean, PewDiePie's not old at all. He's in his 20s. Markiplier, I'm not so sure. I think he's in his late 20s. And Kripparrian, I think he's in his late 20s too. But all of these people, they've been working hard for more than what? I mean, Markiplier had some luck, so he got up there, but still, it's multiple years. Now, the question is, what are they going to do after another couple years? These are questions that I would want to ask them, as, like, me trying to start into getting into content creation. Because I think the only thing you can do is you can make a sort of community based around yourself, and Sips from the Yogscast had said this in one of his ramblings, but he said that, I'm not going to do this for my whole life. You can't expect to get into YouTube and just support yourself forever. It takes a lot of work to come up with all these unique ideas, which I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not saying, give up on it. I'm just saying it's a lot of work, especially if you're going to be doing it for, years. And what if you start getting into doing YouTube for decades? YouTube is still young, as an industry. It came out in 2005, I think. So, I mean, you know, it's only been around for a decade already. Well, people live longer than a decade. People need to make careers that last longer than a decade. And granted, if you get really big, you can make a lot of money off of it, but I can't see you surviving off of that for the rest of your life. Like, you know, PewDiePie has 35 million subscribers, but him making something now and being able to sustain himself for the rest of his life, I don't know if that's really possible. I don't know what he makes, though, so it is. Rich motherfucker. Now, I had some ideas for trying to keep up with the like crowd of YouTube and how to make it so you can actually stay with like who you're trying to entertain or what you're trying to create or something like that. And I think the main thing is you have to sort of have just like a cool guy attitude. But if you go to Twitch and whatnot, people are not afraid to show how they really are. As you go into their channels, you'll instantly get a sense of their personality. And their personality is something that you stick around for longest in YouTube. Content's one thing, but personality is another, I feel. So as you go over into these people's channels, normally they tend to look like this. Hey yo guys, how's it going today? I got my pants so far down my legs I can look right down at my dick. This is the ensemble that I kind of see when I'm looking at, you know, the cool guys of YouTube and Twitch. Normally they'll have like a, you know, like a marijuana thing in the corner. I think it's because they like are, you know, a positive activist for medical marijuana. I think that's why that's there. They'll also have like a bong or something just to really show that, you know, they're into that kind of style. And usually they try to insult as many people, you know, that come into their channel as possible, especially if they give them like any little bit of criticism, you know, like you see a comment where it's just like, hey man, you are a fool and I can't stand your hat. And they're just like, you, what the fuck you say, bitch? This is my fucking hat. Look at this thing. I am a badass. Is it popped high enough? I don't want anyone to be able to see my ears though. So after all this ensemble, I might start to you know, like change over into this sort of style. I don't know, it kind of makes me feel cool at least. But I think the real thing of trying to be a good YouTuber or any good content creator is you need to be consistent, which here's me coming out late with a video. I think you need to be consistent. I think you need to talk to your fan base or, you know, anyone who watches your stuff. Make sure that you're making a connection with them. Make sure that you're making a good community. And, you know, try to be as cool as possible. I hope you guys enjoyed Sit Down Sunday for today, and until next time, stay safe.